Hello friends. So today we are going to make a menu driven program of a simple calculator. So for that we need to first make four functions and then to the next part where we make a program with a while loop. Yes. So I'll tell you why we are using while loop over here, why we are using looping over here, and why we are using functions over here. For we are using functions over here to make our program simpler. And if we have any problem in any of the part, then we can simply solve that problem of that part in itself only. We'll not have to solve the whole program again and again for that single problem, right? So firstly we'll make the functions, and for the functions we first use the keyword def, then the function name. For example, we are using a simple calculator, so we only need four functions, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So I can give any name to the function. So first function I'm making is addition function. For addition function I'm giving the name sum. You can give any name whichever suits you, and I'm giving two parameters inside it, that if this function needs to take two inputs from the user, then only the function will work, otherwise it will not work, right? So and now I'm giving another variable c, which will give me the sum of these two, right? Then and after that I'm giving the print statement, like syntax of the function. See, this is known as function header, right? And this is known as the function body. Okay. Okay. So function header is where you give the function name, function parameters with the keyword def, right? And then the function body, you can do whatever you want with those variables, with those parameters, that whatever you want to do, right? And functions can be done in the three types: without parameter, single parameter, double parameters, right? And it can return, print, and continue also. So there are many types of functions and many different syntaxes for different functions. So if you're facing problems in functions, then first clear out this, and do let me know if if you're still facing problems, then do let me know. I'll clear it out for you, right? So here for the print statement I'll give uh, okay, so we are done with the first function. These three lines are for a simple function you're making, right? So we are done with the making the first function. Now we'll make the second function. Second function is for subtraction. So again, every time I will make a new function, I will have to give the name. Have to take the first the keyword, then the name. Name I'll give for difference is diff, and then I'll use give the parameters. Sorry. Then again, see, here doesn't matter how many times I'm using the same variable a and b and c. It doesn't matter. It will take as different variables each time, because I'm each time using it in a new place. Okay, so you can use the same variable all over the program and still find that it takes differently. But Python is a case sensitive language, so please do take care that whatever you are writing, or the syntax should be very clear. Otherwise, if you have a single problem in the syntax, your program might not work. Now guys, I'm done making the second function. Now I'll head on to the third one. Third one I'll make of multiplication. For multiplication, I'll give the function name pro. You can use any function name which suits you better. Okay, so I'm here giving pro. Then sorry, C as in multiplied by the right and left option. Now I'm done making the third one. I'll now head on to the last function, which is of division. Right. I hope you're clear with single modulus, double modulus, and the percentage sign for the division function. I will here use double modulus because I want the complete division, whether it be in decimals or non-decimals. I want it completely, right? So that is why I'll use double modulus. We will start making the functions. Now I'll head on to the functions are done. Now I'll make the program. For the program, so guys, here we'll write here after making the whole function, we'll get to the program. And for the program, firstly we'll give the while loop because we have to get it in the loop. We have to give the user again and again the option to use the calculator uh, itself. So we have to give it inside the loop. So for inside the loop, we'll use while loop. While true. See, while true means each and every time till the statement doesn't break, it'll run. It'll not stop. So this is the inbuilt keywords. Okay, now I'll give the options to print. Actually, why I'm printing my uh, why I'm giving this loop is because I want the calculator to run itself again and again, again and again without any hindrance, right? So that is why I'm giving inside the loop. And inside the loop, what will be my first statement is no variable, no input, nothing. But I'll give the print option because firstly I have to show the name that what I'm doing. I am making a simple calculator, a menu driven program. So I'll give the name of it. Okay. So like here I've given it uh, just a second tab space. Just please notice that please keep in mind that Python is a very sensitive language, and if you use anything wrong, your syntax if your syntax is wrong, you cannot make the Python program work for you, right? So here I've given firstly print menu driven program. So every time this program will run, it will give menu driven program at the top as an heading. Then the second subheading which it will give is choose any one of the following. Any one of the following means I've given 5 options. You can give more. If you have more functions, then you can give more options. But I have only 4 functions, and fifth function I have added to stop it. Like not every time the user wants to perform again and again in a loop. So to get out of it from a loop and to stop this, I would have to give a stop function also, a stop variable also, right? So I tell you how you'll end this loop because for the true, it'll it is true each and every time you are choosing an option, right? It will perform the option you'll choose, it will ask you the numbers, you'll perform the task, and then later what will happen is it will again ask you for the numbers, right? You don't want that eventually. So I'll tell you step by step how you'll do this. Okay, so next step will be now asking for an input. That you have given the 5 options and now you want to ask an input. So for input, you'll use again a variable, like I am using a variable I. I equals to input integer value. Int is integer value, and then I am putting input, that you'll take this from the user. Okay, and then I'm putting the input statement, what I will give as an input statement. So I want to give enter your choice. Okay, so I've given this and double brackets. We are done here with the input choice. Now we'll use if statement, if and if elif else statement, because we have options, and from the options, if the user chose the first option, do this. If the user chose the second option, do this. If the user chose the third option, do this. So we have to give the choices, right? For the choices we use if and else, you all know that. So here I'm using if statement, if I, because the variable here which is getting an input is I. So I will equate with first. For equation in Python, we use double equality signs, right? Right. This is the syntax for this. Now, like for first option, if the user chose first option, then it is addition. For addition, we have to give 2 arguments as mentioned above. See, here I've given the parameters that take 2 arguments from the user and then sum it and then print the sum, right? So I have to give the 2 arguments here, so I'll give it. So for example, I'll do a equals to int, because we are taking a integer value, we are taking numbers, we're not adding any string, any letter, alphabet. So we'll not use directly input, we'll first use integer value and then input, then the input statement, and then the second variable. Okay. It is not important for you to write in the same way like I am writing. I am writing this way because I want it in this way. The format you want to give, you can give it. You can write anything inside the statements, but the syntax should be the same, because if you not follow this syntax, then probably your program would not run. It's not compulsory, but it might happen, right? So now I have given 2 parameters. Now I have to call the function. For the calling of function, I'll give the function name, which I've given here sum, and with the parameters that here are 2 parameters, and here a and b are the 2 parameters. So I'll call the sum here. I've taken the name of the variable function, then brackets, and then because I have taken again the same variables a and b over here as above, so I'll give a comma b here also. I would have chosen x and y here, and there would be no problem. Just in place of here a and b, I would have written x and y over here. Okay. So no issues with the variables. Now after this, some calling, everything is done. So now if the user chose the first option, it will do this. Like it will ask for the two numbers, then it will sum and it will print it. Okay, with this statement. Because I have given this statement in the print argument of this function, right? Now we are completed with the first option. Now if the user chooses the second option instead of first, so uh, it will check if for the if statement it will check that if I equals to 1, if I is not equals to 1, then what will it do? Then it will get to the next statement, that is elif. Why I'm using elif and not if here? Because if will check every time, elif will check only if the above statement is wrong. So only if the above statement is wrong, then only I want to check to the other one. No, so that is why I'll use over here elif. So LF, I don't want to check it again and again that if it is one, do this, if it is two, do this. It will take a lot of time and it will get to a lot of time consumption. So I don't want that much of time consumption in my program. So I'll directly use LF. If the first statement is wrong, then it will come to the next one. LF again, I equals to 2, because first one we have checked, now the second one. For the second one, again we have to give the two parameters because they have asked for two parameters, right? Okay, I'll get to it. And then again the same, you can write the above statements as same above statements. Okay, written it. Now again the function calling, because I've used the function name def and then two parameters, I'll again use the same. I'll use def and again a comma, and here my function calling is done. Now after after it checks on 2, and if it's not true for 2 also, then it will check the another one, that is if I equals to 3, then it will again ask for the arguments, right? Then for the third statement we have multiplication, and for multiplication I have taken the function name as pro, right? So I'll use the same function name pro here with arguments inside, and done. Okay, now if the third statement is also not true, again I'll go to another and check for lf. I equals to 4, right? Now again I'll give the arguments. Again fourth option is division, and I have taken the function name as div, so I'll use div as my function name, then two parameters, and yes, I'm done. Now for the fifth statement I've given stop, right? So I not use elif here. If it is not true for any of the above four, then it will directly come to else, right? And now for else I'll give print. Thank you. And break. Now what does break do? Break stops the function, stops the program, stops the loop. Okay, break means you are breaking something, right? So here you are breaking the program with the break function, right? And sorry for my mistake, but here also I'll use lf because I want to give the moderations also, like lf I equals to 5, then this. But if it is not true for any of the things, if the user gives 6 as an option, then what will you do? What will your program will do? Nothing. But We don't have to do nothing. We are making a complete well-functioning menu-driven program. So why would we leave any loopholes inside it, right? So here we are going to do is now we are writing else print invalid text. Please choose from 1 to. Okay, now we are completed. Guys, let me show you now how this program will going to run and what will be its output. So just wait for a while. I'll show you. Let me get to the run window. See guys, as you can see that here the first heading which I'm getting is the menu driven program as I've written in the program that for the very first thing we don't have to ask for the choice or we don't have to ask for an input, but we have to show we have to show a name of a program as I'm getting over here. Then after that, thereafter I'm getting this option to I'm getting a choice, and here is the choice. It is asking for choose anyone, and now after that it is asking for my choice. That what is my choice? What do I want? So let's say I want to have the third option. So I chose the third choice. Now it is asking for a number. For example, I gave 40 and I gave 5. So see, it is giving me the product as 200, right? Now it is again running. As I told you that each and every time until unless you don't take the option 5, it will come again and again. It is in a infinite loop until and unless you don't choose option number 5. See again, and I told you that instead of 1 to 5, if you write any other question, it will give invalid text. So let me show you how it will give. So for example, I chose the option number 8. See, it is giving me invalid text. Choose from option 1 to 5. Right. Now it is again asking me for the choice. Now I want to stop. I don't want any further calculations. I don't want this program to run any further. So I want it to stop. So I'll choose the fifth option, stop, and it will say thank you, and the program ends here. So this is the way you can make your menu driven program. It is a simple calculator. You can also use the areas, parameters, and more complexities like grid, percentage, and you can use complexities, yes, of course, and but this is the most simplest program that you can ever find on menu driven programs. Okay, so I hope you like this video. I hope this video was helpful to you. So if you like this video, please drop a like and hit the subscribe button, and whatever problems you're facing, please do let me know in the comment section. If possible, I'll make a new video on it, or else I'll try to solve your doubts in the comment section itself. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.